Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. It's time to give some advice. We've got Thursday night football right around the corner. Andrew Erickson right here next to me. There's no place I'd rather be than with my boo, Andrew. John, of course, our producer, also hanging out here as he always does, runs the stream, does a terrific job. He's just the best. He is under snow right now in Buffalo because he chooses to torture himself. I don't know why he does these things. I told him, move. Why do you live in this place? It's crazy. But again, we've got a lot of answers to give you. So if you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below in the chat. We're going to help you out there. And don't forget, every time you drop a comment below and you subscribe to our amazing, incredible YouTube channel, 227,000 strong. It's a pretty good number right there. Somebody might win this bad boy. A Dak Prescott autographed jersey signed by Dak Prescott himself. The premier autographed sports memorabilia auction house, of course. This is from Pristine Auction, and you need to subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now. Drop a comment below. That's it. That's all you got to do, and ring that bell till it goes ding for notifications so you know when new videos drop, and you can claim your prize. And if you didn't win, that's okay. You could still sign up at pristineauction.com and use that link in our video description. And if you use the registration code FantasyPros, you'll get $10 off your first order over at Pristine Auction. Great stuff there. Although I did make a stunning prediction on the Betting Pro show. Go subscribe there too. Incredible YouTube channel. Erickson and I just did a show there. I think the Eagles are going to hand the Cowboys a little spanking. I think a little spanking. That's what I think. Everyone's drinking in the Cowboys, Erickson. Big win.
Cowboys, are they getting like all the that's surprising to me because I felt like. But I guess they're such a public team, like you pointed out. Like
that's the thing; they're so public, and they're coming off they looked great last week. They looked dominant last week, and the Eagles are weak in the secondary, and they're going to throw the football on all of the good narratives except one. The one narrative remains: prove it to me, Dallas. Prove it to me that you got the cojones to go into Philadelphia and win a big football game, and then I'll eat it. It's fine. All the Cowboys fans are mad at me. I love you, but you know it, and I know it. We both know it. But this is about fantasy today. So we're going to talk about your fantasy questions. So Erickson, are you ready to answer some questions for our fantastic audience here?
Ready
we have
to rock
the best audience.
Week 9. I can't believe we're halfway through, right? Technically, like kind of because like the 17 games used to be 16, then they add extra games. So like there's no halfway points. Like halfway is like halfway through this week's games. I don't know.
I just put my head down, and when I look up and it's week 18, then I know we're in the playoffs. That's it. That's all I do. Just very focused, just tunnel vision. That's all I've got. And our audience is incredible, by the way. I just want to give a shout out to them. I love all the positivity they've been sharing on the YouTube channel. We love your comments. I love the negative ones too, because they make me laugh. And yeah, I read them sometimes. I see you. And some of them are very funny. But I love the diversification too of our audience too. It's amazing. We've got male, female. We've got people different countries, different, people stalwarts of fantasy, people new to fantasy. It's great. And I just want to give a shout out to all of you who are with us here in week 9, still hanging on. Let's go to James Mio. Full PPR, should I start Rashid Shaheed over Higgins, Davante Adams, or Puka? Now, those are 3 really good wide receivers. I like Shaheed a lot. I think for me, Erickson, the only way I start Shaheed is if Stafford is out. That's the pivot point to me.
Yeah, I think so. Right now, I'm still going to keep Davante in there. I still want to keep Puka in there if Matthew Stafford's going to play. Higgins is still not 100%. So again, you could wait for him to have another prove it game, but he's also in a really good game environment, against the Bills. Like they're hurting on their defense. I know they traded for Rashid Douglas, but still, like Higgins is still attached to Joe Burrow. Like, and you want that. And I know Rashid Shaheed's coming off a big game, but he's also had a bunch of games where he's disappeared because of the Derek Carr roller coaster that is him at quarterback. So I think that the guys you have there are pretty strong.
Yeah, I would start the guys you have. I know Davante's been a little rough there recently, but teams always Erickson, every time they fire a coach, they respond. Like I'm going to bet the Raiders this week. I'm just going to do it because every year that's what happens. They fire the coach, especially always against a weak opponent. The Giants are weak. It's a great opportunity. My name is Puka. I live on the 2nd floor. You know that song, Erickson? I know that's an old song.
I think so.
You don't know that? My name is, it's not Puka, it's Luca.
Oh, okay.
But it works. Do you know that one? It's the same girl who sang I figured that's a big one for you. Tom's Diner. You like that one? No?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Chris DeSaris, start Chuba, Madison, or Kareem Hunt, half PPR. You and I were just talking about our love for Chuba Hubbard. Is it enough to start over Madison and Hunt?
I think I have these guys like all really ranked
They're
close
really
to each
close.
other.
This is a tough one from Chris. And it's
Yeah.
Dracaris, which sounds like something that the mother of dragons would say right before she lit somebody on fire. Dracaris! That's what she would say, typically. What?
Yeah,
I mean,
in these situations, I try to. So like Madison, like you have the backup quarterback question, and then is Akers going to take on a bigger role? So like Madison for me is probably out of this conversation.
agreed.
Hubbard seems like he's got the lock on the RB1 role where Kareem Hunt is still like splitting snaps with other guys. I don't know how healthy Jerome Ford is. And PJ Walker's also the quarterback there. So again, they are playing Arizona, so it should be a layup. I think I would probably start Chuba, but it's really close between him and Hunt for me.
Yeah, it's close between him and Hunt for me, too. I would lean towards Chuba just because I feel like I think that's that new identity coming out of that bye. It's like, hey, let's be more physical. Let's run Chuba Hubbard a little bit. Miles Sanders hasn't gotten the job done. And, with Hunt, it's like all these different pieces, too. Is Ford healthy enough to really be a piece? Is Pierre Strong going to get work? I think Hunt is the safest probably play, but Chuba, I think, is the upside. Jared Lashak, Jordan Addison, Brian Robinson for James Cook and Chris Olave, full PPR dynasty. So we're talking long-term here. You want Cook or Olave or Addison and Brian Robinson. I always want to get the best player in the deal. And if he asked me before the season started, it would have been Chris Olave in a landslide. Is Addison at that level now? And if so, does the Cook addition offset that? I mean, it's a pretty fair trade, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think from a dynasty perspective, I think that you could probably say Addison and Olave are pretty equally. I mean, look, like Addison is not, again, dynasty. Obviously, he's been great as a rookie, but again, he's still the number 2 on his team, with Jefferson's still there. And we don't know who his quarterback is going to be next year. So there's quarterback problems and question marks with both of these receivers, but we both know they're really talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're both young. So I would go to the running backs, and it's like, all right, I would rather have James Cook than Brian Robinson. Like straight up, I don't think that's too
I don't think that's a hot take. No.
So I think that I would go with Olave and Cook side.
All right, let's get to the next one here. All right, John, you threw down the gauntlet here with this question. This is from Yerbeam Pereira. There you go. There you go, Yerbeam. Very popular name, Yerbeam. It's making a big comeback. It was very popular in the 1500s, I think. Half PPR, 2 questions. Trade next year pick for Davante Adams. Is that good? Or would you trade Stroud and Higgins? So obviously we're talking about some sort of keeper league situation. Would you trade next year's pick for Davante Adams? Like if I could win now, and if it's a later pick, it's interesting to get Adams and see if, the McDaniels vanishing changes things for him. If it's a keeper league, I don't want to trade Higgins and Stroud because they're more useful keepers. That's my take on this. What's yours, Erickson?
Yeah, I agree. I think I would go for Adams if you can get him for decently cheap.
Okay, let's get to the next one here. Jose L, would you trade Pierce or Deontay Johnson or Tank Dell? I'm sorry, would you trade Pierce for Deontay Johnson or Tank Dell?
Yeah, I would.
Which one? Which one would be the person?
I'd rather have Deontay. That's who I would go for.
Too. Let's go to Bryson Davis, Deontay Johnson, Rashid Shaheed this week.
Deontay.
Okay. Austin, if you need upside, I don't think Shaheed's a bad play. It's a little risky, but so is Deontay, with Pickett's health being a little questionable. Austin Beatty, who can you trade? Who can you target to trade B-Rob Jr. away?
Not much, because he's been really, really bad. So I think that you're looking at some wide receivers. I mean, Cam Akers you could probably get. That's really selling really low. Maybe Aaron Jones.
Is that worm turning in the Vikings backfield? Is it turning for Akers in your opinion down the stretch?
I mean, I think so, but they've been so hot cold with Madison, and Madison hasn't been like bad enough where it's like, okay, they totally have to like pull the rug out from underneath him. And honestly, I wrote about this in the fantasy forecast this week where you could see the Vikings really turn on and embrace the running game more. Just overall, you look at what happened last year. Remember when Sean McVay, when they lost Stafford, again, same offensive philosophy. When they lost Stafford, who led the NFL in rushing yards over the last 6 weeks of the season? Cam Akers. So with a backup quarterback in, whether it's him, whether it's a Hall or Josh Dobbs, whoever, starts from the rest of the season, you could see them be like, hey, we need to establish the run game more. We have Akers, we have Madison, like let's use them both. So you could see both guys producing a lot more, especially because they actually have like a decent schedule when it comes to running the ball. And even this week against the Falcons have been pretty good against the run, but they lost Grady Jarrett last week. So
it's a huge loss too. I don't think people are talking enough about that. So yeah, it's a tough. I mean, I would say also like, could you get Tank Dell for him? You think?
Yeah, you could probably. Yeah, I mean, you can if you're looking to get like a better value, I would probably be sniffing like wide receivers. Like honestly, Christian Watson. If you want to merely shoot for upside,
maybe you could pull that off. It's not impossible, Erickson.
I mean,
it's
Watson's
really not.
But I mean, look, he's not going to have all bad games all year. Like he's eventually going to hit on one. Like
that's what I keep telling myself.
Guys. Hey, like remember with all these regression guys, just think back to the Mike Evans game. Remember, Mike Evans was literally so bad all of last year, and then what happened in the fantasy playoffs? He scored like 50 points. and that may be all you need to have to be worth going after a guy in trade. Like as long as you can survive all the bad games.
Just got to survive the bad games. That's all you got to do. It's as simple as that. All right, let's get to the next question here. Let's get to Brian Carr, half PPR, Kincaid or Schultz?
Kincaid.
Okay. Daniel Schindel, full PPR. Who should I start? Higgins or Addison? I'm starting Higgins. I'm taking the better QB. It's a good matchup against the Buffalo defense is not as stalwart as it's been in the past with all the injuries. That's my take anyway.
Yep.
What's yours?
Yeah, I have Higgins ranked higher too.
You got to bet on Joe B over anybody playing for Minnesota. I'm repping you guys. I'm saying Minnesota's not done yet. I'm wearing my Vikings gear today, trying to show some support for the Vikings who won a couple big games here. And, I don't want the Vikings to die off here. Ronan the Accused, pros and a half PPR, pick 2. Puka, Stevenson, Henderson, or Addison?
Puka, Stevenson, Henderson, pick 2. I'm going to play Puka and Stevenson.
Agreed. David B, start 3 PPR. DJ Moore, Rashid Rice, Deontay, Pickens, Darrell Henderson.
Rashid Rice, Deontay, and DJ Moore.
Rodzilla, D-Hop, or Josh Downs? Here we go. Everybody's going to chase the 3 touchdowns. Should they chase it?
Probably not, no. I mean, I was telling people, I was trying to be very, like, you need to sell DeAndre Hopkins right now. Like, Will Levis gifted everybody with Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins an out. Like to get out now, and hopefully they take advantage. So
my favorite comment is somebody on a YouTube comment made it one that was like, these idiots told everybody to sit Hopkins. He has best game. You go find me anywhere that anyone thought starting DeAndre Hopkins was a good idea with Will Levis. Go find it. I want to see it. And even then, when you watch the tape of it, it's a complete and utter disaster, courtesy of the Atlanta Falcons secondary, who blew coverages that I have not seen blown all. I mean, it was bad news. And that's what happened. And Will Levis at one point just said, screw it, Hopkins is out there somewhere, and just threw the ball up in the air a couple times. And that stuff happens.
Yeah.
But the process, I don't want to hear it. Don't come with that secondhand nonsense. Nobody. Go look at the DFS roster percentage of Hopkins. I think it was negative. Nobody thought Hopkins was going to be good. Okay? Let's not go there. Drewski, I traded Evan Ingram for DK Metcalf and Taysom Hill. What do y'all think?
I think it's a good trade. Yeah.
I think it's Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
If it's Tyreek Hill and you got Tyreek Hill for DK Metcalf and Evan Ingram, Drewski, you're my hero.
Yeah.
I'm going to be you for Halloween.
No way
next
that's
year.
it. But I think Taysom Hill's look right now.
I didn't want Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I think it's a little much personally to give up, but because Evan Ingram is just fine. Like he's another one doesn't score touchdowns. Dirt Diggler, Jacobs or Pollard rest of season. It's still Pollard for me. I'm not going to get off this train.
Yep, Pollard.
B More, hey pros, have a couple bye weeks, so need help in the 2 flex spots. James Cook, Aaron Jones, Rashid Rice, pick 2. Thanks in advance.
I will start Cook and Rice.
Okay, Cook and Rice. I like Cook and Rice.
Cook and Rice.
What's your favorite rice? What's the one of rice? You like a white rice guy? You're a rice pilaf guy? You like the fried rice?
I mean, there's no rice I don't like, honestly. Like I like all rice. Of the rices.
I like the yellow rice, Mexican rice.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm a rice guy. You and me, rice guys.
Rice
guy.
guys.
When you're looking for carbs, me and Erickson go right to the rice. That's what we do. I don't like sometimes that they try to season too much. Like the stuff where they're trying to jam 5,000 different things into it. Like that's a little much for me.
Yeah.
I'm so like, all right,
Agreed.
let's not get crazy here. Let's just pump the brakes. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Danny Welch, half PPR flex. Who should I start? JSN, Collins, or Flowers?
Collins for me.
P. Juan Antonio Ruiz Jorge. God, I love the Latin names. I mean, my name is just Joe. Like, I mean, I wish my name was P. Juan Antonio Ruiz Jorge. Pick 2, Chuba Hubbard, T. Higgins, and Josh Downs. I think it's Higgins and Downs for me.
What's it doesn't say the format.
Let's say it's PPR. That seems to be the most common nowadays.
Yeah, let's start the receivers.
They love the points for reception. Can't catch a ball, give me a point. Very happy. Makes people warm and fuzzy in their tum-tums. Recyclops, FP Bros, Calvin Ridley, and Watson are killing me. No kidding. Time to trade? Suggestions? Much love. By the way, I want that Jack Prescott. Everyone's calling him Jack Prescott. I don't know if you get this, Erickson. So when I was Dr. Evil this week on the live stream, I accidentally said Jack Prescott and then made a bit of it because, things happen. Because it's a live stream. And now everyone everywhere is calling him Jack Prescott, which is funny. I love it. But Watson and Ridley, this is tough. I think I'm riding both of these out, which I know is not the answer you want, Recyclops, but I just don't know what you can feasibly get for them. Would you rather have Marquise Hollywood Brown or Christian Watson rest of season? Because that's the question you ask yourself.
Yeah. Look, I think you can't sell them while they're low. Like, look, they are boom or bust receivers that have been more bust than boom, but eventually that means that the booms are going to come. Like, they're not just going to do nothing all year. Like, that's not the sample size of these players it's too large. So you just got to wait till they have a good game and then you got to sell.
More booms on the horizon, courtesy of Andrew Erickson. Speaking of booms, one boom, of course, in the fantasy industry is my playbook. It booms every single day. Every week it booms. We want the greatest set of tools in the history of fantasy sports. Well, my playbook is it. You get the news for your teams. You can set all your lineups from one spot. And it's got that autopilot feature. The holidays are coming. You don't want to miss out. You got the games in Germany. You got early start games you forget. Don't worry. Set it to autopilot and forget it. And autopilot will take care of the teams that you don't have time to set lineups for, or that you're going to forget, or the teams that you just figured out. Well, this one's dead. It hasn't gone well. Let me focus where I can still make some fantasy glory. So go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook, or just download the My Playbook app. Sync all your teams. Millions of teams have already been synced. Synced, right? Not sunk. No, but the sunk ones should use my autopilot. That's a good thing if your team is sunk. Let's get to Anthony Ramos. Good trade? Question mark. I have Travis Etienne and Jalen Waddle for Brandon Ayuk and Devon Achane. Etienne and Waddle, I think you did pretty well there. I'll take that. Achane is fun, but more unknown to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I like the Etienne side.
Yeah.
Etienne and Waddle, it's a good side.
Yeah, you want to keep Etienne. Yeah. People, I've seen a couple of people like, should I trade him away? I'm like, no. Like, why would you trade away a league winner? Like, that's what he's been all year.
I don't know. Wyatt Cole. Should I start Aaron Jones over Chuba and Kareem Hunt? Man, the Aaron Jones saga this year has been a very sad story.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the only time we've seen the Packers offense look good was when Aaron Jones caught a screen pass for a touchdown in week 1. And basically since he's been hurt, the offense has been horrible, especially in the first half. So yeah, he's not safe at all. So unless you're a huge underdog, I would maybe consider him, but you got to pick a guy that's going to get you points, which is Hubbard and Hunt in this situation. So yeah, I'm probably going to start those guys first.
John chiming in, our producer, Jamaican rice and peas is the 1-1, according to John. I always go Mexican. I like my rice and the black beans and the yellow rice. That is to me the 1-1 there, or the refried beans. Oh, so good. We need a rice poll. We need to do this. Is it the Jamaican rice and peas? Is it the rice and beans Mexican style? Is it the straight up Chinese white rice, or is it the pilaf? I think those are the 4. Those are the 4. I want to know what the people say. I want to know what you say. The top rice. I can't believe we're doing a poll about rice, but we should. It's fun. Let's get to another one here. Let's get to Master J3. Trade Fields away for Higgins, Thielen, or Downs in a full PPR, which seems fair. So I think Higgins is the main target, and if you can get Fields for Higgins and you've got a decent quarterback, I think you're okay. Like if Stroud is your pivot, okay. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's the only thing, though, I'm going to say. Master, if you don't have a great quarterback option, there is that possibility that Fields comes back and continues to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. And that is huge, especially considering how many quarterbacks have just gone by the wayside in the last few weeks. It is rough out there in the QB streets right now. So be sure, Master, that you've got somebody waiting in the wings who can really take over. Let's go to Homer's question. Yo, pros, PPR league, start Taysom Hill or Trey McBride? Let's do that one first. Hill or McBride? It's got to be Hill, right?
Yep, Hill for me.
All right, Aaron Jones or Jerome Ford? I think I still go Aaron Jones here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Ford's also like dealing with an injury, so.
Kyler Murray or Minshew, and then says, thank you, love you, greetings from Austria. See, I told you, we're worldwide. Thanks, Homer. Thanks for hanging out with us. What do you want to do, Kyler or Minshew? Do we have definitive Kyler news?
No, he's not going to play.
He's not going to play this week. You're
Not
going to get
against the
Clayton
Browns.
Tune, so it's Gardner Minshew this week. Let's go to Funky Cold Medina. We haven't seen Funky in a while. Hey, Joe, don't yell at me again, please. No promises. You know, you got to ask your questions.
So.
All right. What RB should I target for St. Brown, Pollard, and Stevenson aren't cutting it for me? So Amon-Ra St. Brown, first of all, I'm not going to yell at you, but I'm going to tell you very clearly, I don't want to trade him. Second.
Well, I mean, what if this is like trading because, hey, like he's been banged up all year and I just want to make sure that I'm acquiring the safest assets I can? Because he has been like playing hurt like all year. Again, like that's not stopping him because he's the sun god, but should be known that like it's pretty clear he is not 100%.
I understand he's not 100%, but I don't like trading him. That being said, if you're looking for like clearly looking for a running back, I want to move up the board. It's got to be very high up there. So
Bijan?
I was going to say Breece Hall.
Because
I think he's going to get so many carries down the stretch, it's going to make your head spin. Like I don't want anybody else mucking around. I don't want it's very simple with the Jets. You just hand the ball to Breece Hall.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Hall. It's got to be Kamara. It's got to be somebody on that upper echelon tier.
What about like Swift or Barkley?
Swift doesn't. I don't think. It's like on the precipice, man.
But these are all trades that theoretically should work, though. Like
they should. But you got to get elite.
Enough. Okay.
Yeah, you got to get elite. I mean, honestly, I would. There's a part of me that if you have Pollard, I mean, would you trade? I think it's too much, probably. But would you do a package of like Pollard and Amon-Ra for McCaffrey and try to take a wide receiver back with upside, like a Drake London or somebody?
Yeah, I think
that's interesting.
It's just like I could not live with myself if I traded away Pollard right now because the dude,
oh no, it's coming. You know, winter's coming.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I get why people are so frustrated, but it's like, guys, like the math doesn't work out where he's just going to continue to play like this. Like he literally leads the NFL in red zone touches and has 2 touchdowns. Like it doesn't make any sense. The Dallas Cowboys are second in points per game. How does he only have 2 touchdowns? It doesn't make any sense. Like it's the upside down. Is Tony Pollard's fantasy football season? So like when we look up after the second half of the year, no one's gonna be surprised. Oh wow, he scored 8 touchdowns. He scored every single week to close out the year because oh wow, he was leading the NFL in red zone touches. So I like can't like voluntarily feel good about trading Pollard unless I get like
no, you got to get big time. Like, see, Funky, we didn't yell at you, and we only yell because
I'm just yelling at the sky. Like I'm like,
yes,
why is Tony Pollard not
that's what old
touchdowns?
People do. That's what old people past their prime do, like Andrew Erickson. JC3PR, Collins or Higgins this week? I still go Higgins.
Collins for me.
What?
Nico.
David Levy. Hello, guys. McBride or Ferguson this week?
Ferguson.
Love from Costa Rica. David, hang out in Costa Rica.
Ferg Daddy.
Ferg Daddy for you? Yeah, I think so. Probably with Clayton Tune playing quarterback. I know John, our producer, is very jealous of the weather in Costa Rica right now. He is under 5 to 7 feet of snow, I think, at some point. Brian Lafort. He has to actually tunnel out of his house. He's got a little shovel. Opens the door. He tunnels out of his house. It's a whole thing. Brian Lafort. Chuba, Jalen, Warren, or Singletary as RB2. Oof.
Hubbard.
Hard times, baby. Hubbard. Definitely Hubbard. James Hallett Jr., full PPR flex, Josh Downs, Puka, or more?
Puka.
If Puka doesn't have Stafford, still Puka or no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's still, I mean, look, like Puka's like, he's still really good. Like, and it's not like Stafford's been throwing a bunch of touchdowns. It's like,
this is true.
So
Lalo09, Minshew or Heinicke?
Let me check my rank. I know that
I'm
Debro doesn't
tempted.
like
Look,
Heinicke that
Heinicke is
much.
tempting. I get where you're at here. And it wouldn't shock me if Heinicke had a good game, but I think I would still play Minshew. Like, I'm going to play it a little safe here. I think there's too many negative range of outcomes with Taylor Heinicke. Not that Minshew is perfect.
Dude, I
But
mean, they're like, they're pretty much the Spider-Man meme. It's just like these
I
two
know, but I just
guys
like
that
the total
like,
in that game better. I like the total in that game with Indianapolis. I think
I
that's the
like the
sneaky
over in that
shootout.
game. Yeah.
It's a weak slate. It's the oh my God, I can't believe we're getting this game, or oh my God, I can't believe we're getting this game. And it's all about the emphasis there. That's what this week 9 is like.
Did Taylor Heinicke ever play on the Vikings?
No.
Are you sure? I feel like maybe he
I
was a
don't think
backup.
so.
Like
No, he
all
was
these
a
guys are
Commanders
trying to be
backup.
the next Ryan Fitzpatrick, and no one has stepped up yet. I'm really
It's
hoping
hard to be
someone
Ryan
steps up to be
Fitzpatrick.
that guy.
You know, do you know he went to Harvard? That
Baker
was my favorite
Mayfield's
thing.
trying to be Fitzpatrick.
he's on his way.
He needs to grow the beard.
My favorite thing is every broadcast they'd have to bring up the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. Really, I've never heard that. Can we find one other interesting?
Did you guys
fact about
know
this
that
guy?
Antonio Gates didn't play?
I know. Did you know he actually was a basketball player? You know, it's like I've got my
Jimmy
notes here.
Graham never played college football. Weird.
Zane Alasfi, start 2, half PPR, Olave, Deontay Johnson, or Nico?
I'm starting Deontay, and I'm starting.
Ooh, I'm going Olave and Nico. I'm not mucking around with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Not when I have these options. Not doing it.
I'd probably start Olave and Deontay.
Thursday night, short
Deontay
week.
has
Pickett banged up. His ribs are
Deontay's
hurt.
done everything that people drafted him before, besides getting hurt. Like he's been good in the 3 games he's played. He just got hurt.
But now this is not about him. This is about the quarterback downgrade.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Like, what if he comes out of
Trubisky,
that game?
Pickett, that's the same guy. Who cares? It doesn't matter. They're throwing the ball to Deontay no matter what.
That's way harsh, Ty. I'm not the same guy. Michael Bean 89. Should I try to trade Mostert for Zay Flowers PPR? What do you think? I got DeAndre Swift and Jonathan Taylor and Saquon. So you've got that's a great trade for you.
The Raheem Mostert RB1 season has.
Yeah, this is it.
It's over. It's gonna end soon.
This is it. Let's go to Marvin McCory. What's up, boys? Wide receiver flex spot between Josh Downs, T. Higgins, and Rashid Rice. Can start 2 in the full PPR. Who do you want to start?
Higgins and Rice.
Higgins and Rice. Speaking of Rice, God, I've waited my whole life to make that transition in a show. I finally got to do it. I can't believe it. This is like when the stars align. Speaking of Rice, here are the poll results from the Rice poll that I put out there. We already got 200 votes on it already. It's fantastic. You're my people. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Yellow Mexican rice, again, the rice and beans that I'm talking about, 37%, crushing life. The sticky white rice, though, 32, right behind it. Jamaican rice and peas, 14%. I'm sorry, John. Rice pilaf, 14. My daughters love the rice pilaf, though. I got to make it like twice a month at least. The rice pilaf is on the table at some point. So, but you didn't let me down, people. Man, I want tacos so bad right now. I can't even Joey P did not get lunch. Joey P is hungry. And you're hungry for a free giveaway. Perhaps a Dak Prescott jersey or a Jack Prescott jersey. It doesn't matter. We're giving this one away, and it's a good-looking jersey. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all you've got to do. And then drop a comment below. Again, this is courtesy of Betting Pros. We're giving this bad boy away. And, of course, you can go over to Pristine Auction and check out in the link here pinned to the channel right here in the video description. If you use that registration code FantasyPros, you get $10 off your first order. But again, if you want this jersey, the Dak Prescott jersey, comment, subscribe, ring the bell till it goes ding, and you might be the big winner. It's a beautiful jersey. It's going to be fun. You can wear it and go root for the Cowboys to show up in a big game. Because I've been waiting for 20 years and it hasn't happened. Come at me, bro. It hasn't happened. I want it to happen. Believe me. I wanted them to beat the 49ers. Nobody wanted them to beat I had money on the Cowboys to beat the 49ers. That's not what this is about. Until Dak and them show that they have the intestinal fortitude to go win a big game in a big spot against a good football team in a hostile environment, and that's going to be a hostile. Philadelphia is I lived in Philadelphia for 6 years. It is a walking, breathing, living, hostile environment. It is a tough place. In sports, it's a tough place. I love Philly. It's a great town to eat, drink, and be merry in. Cheesesteaks galore all day long. Still hungry. Let's go to Adam HYB. Should I trade away Walker for Pollard? Kenneth Walker or Tony Pollard rest season?
Yep. Yeah, I think this is a sharp move to make.
This is the sharp move, huh? I worry about Walker breaking down at the end of the year. Like Charbonnet to me is one of these guys that like I want all the Charbonnet I can possibly get on my rosters for the last 5-6 weeks of the season. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is why we talked up Charbonnet in the offseason. It's like this guy is
just in case.
He looks like to me, like he looks like exactly like James Conner. Like he just like totally destroys
That's a good
guys.
comp.
Like that's what he reminds me a lot of. Like especially like he's good out of the backfield.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean he looks like
he's
like
like if Connor had a pedigree. Because Connor really didn't have a big pedigree coming out of college. He snuck up on people. And I know he had the illness that he dealt with too. I hope James Conner, that's one of those stories too. I'm always rooting for James Conner. Like I sucked when he got hurt this year. I wanted to come back and finish the season healthy. I'd really like to see that. Let's get to the next question here. Danny Welch, bye week trade thoughts, half PPR dynasty, give away Ken Walker, get Rashad White and Minshew. Gross. No, not in dynasty. No way.
Yeah, like need a quarterback receiver flex, but like, dude,
there's a million quarterbacks out there. Go
Walker,
get Heinicke.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you can't pick up Clayton Tune. You can't like straight up a fourth round rookie pick for one of these scrubs.
Trade somebody. Get a scrub quarterback for the week.
Or you just start a positional player. Like you can do that too. Like you don't have to like make a bad trade to just get a quarterback for the sake of.
You mean I don't have to risk my future for one single week?
As somebody that has started in back-to-back weeks. No less. Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett. I can guarantee you that sometimes quarterbacks don't score that many points. So
it has been bad. I were you on that show? I don't think you were. Oh no. I don't think I gave you this number either. How many quarterbacks have taken a snap this year? Did I give you this little nugget?
I don't know. So I can guess.
Take a guess. How many quarterbacks taken a snap this year in the NFL? I can assure you the number is disturbing. No, yeah.
57.
Higher, Bob.
65.
Correct. 65. You nailed it.
Because I was trying to I was like, all right, 32 teams, and I tried to multiply it by 2.
I could smell you doing the math. I could see it. It's very good.
You're wow. So more than double of the actual teams there are.
Well, because some teams are already into sec 2 and 3.
Well, right. Yeah, exactly. So
that's the whole thing. It's like
on average, it's like every team has used at least another quarterback. Wow. That's crazy.
Superflex is, if you win a Superflex championship this year, you done good.
Well, that's the thing. Is it's like, did your quarterback stay healthy? It's like, oh, great job.
Well, you know what the funniest thing in all my Superflex leagues, I missed the run of the secondary guys that I liked, which were Purdy, some of the less interesting guys. And then my pivot point in all of them, and you know this because we did a draft together in New York, was Stroud. So I went early with Mahomes, early with Hurts. I did all that. And then I just waited. And it feels like anybody who tried to do anything else than that in the middle just got eaten alive this year because they're all hurt. It's just a complete disaster. It's crazy. Very crazy. Ryan C. Need help, guys. Trade proposed to me. I give Breece Hall for DK Metcalf and Chuba Hubbard. No.
No, you're getting fleeced, Ryan.
Ryan. No. Don't you dare. You put that trade down.
Yeah. Again, so if you're watching this right now, and you have DK Metcalf and Chuba Hubbard, you go do this and try to get Breece Hall.
Good luck.
No, but the fact that Ryan is like, no, I'm not. This is no offense to Ryan, but it's like, this is a deal that at least people are thinking about trading Breece Hall. So
that's great. But don't think about doing it for Breece Hall. Don't think about, don't do that. No. Andrew Leventis. I have Davante Adams and Stephon Diggs as my wide receivers. I need to start a flex, Zay Flowers and Deontay Johnson, full PPR. I like Zay.
I'll start Zay too. Yeah.
Got to play the total. Got to play the better quarterback. When in doubt, play the total, play the better quarterback. That's a good rule of thumb for everybody out there. When you have these players I like these two players, but do you want Lamar Jackson or Kenny Pickett at the end of the day? You have to ask yourself, do you want the 45 total or the 35 total? You're just giving yourself more outs, more opportunities. You have to start to process things that way. That's the stuff that makes you a better fantasy player. And I'm not saying it's going to be right 100% of the time, but it's going to be right 3/4 of the time for sure. Of course, unless it's DeAndre Hopkins, in which case it's always right to start DeAndre Hopkins. Kevin Andrade, start Deontay. Every question's about Deontay Johnson today. Start Deontay Johnson or Smitty. Is that
Devontae Smith? I'm assuming.
Devontae Smith. I love when people give nicknames that don't exist. We did this on Monday. So we called him Demont. Who calls him Demont? Have you heard anyone call him Demont?
I've only heard Monty like that, and that makes sense.
I've heard Monty.
Okay,
Demont.
Yeah, no. or it's like when people call
Smitty.
Aaron Rodgers A-Rod. I'm like, no,
I can call Aaron Rodgers a lot of things, but I won't be on the show much longer
there's
if I
one.
say what I really think. John Ruth, it's Devonta Smith, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for humoring me, Andrew. Andrew Erickson humoring me since 2017.
Look, man, I'm a Deontay Johnson sucker. Like,
I know I like Deontay Johnson, but
he's
not
been
over
good when he's been
Smith,
healthy.
not over Flowers.
Targets.
I know, but like again, I'm looking at the total. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, or I'm looking at Kenny Pickett.
Well, I mean, Smith has played in a lot of good games with good totals and has done.
He's got a rib missing. It's a whole thing. Don't forget, make your picks count over at bettingpros.com/NFL content. Look, nothing's gonna top the Rice segue, so I'm just gonna cut my losses at this point. bettingpros.com/NFL contest. That's where you go. Make your picks. You don't even have to make bets. Just make picks. If gambling is not legal in your state, don't worry. You're not going to get arrested. It's going to be fun. Make picks. 5 a week, 100 on the season. You could win a Jackson Smith and Jigba autographed jersey, but don't worry. I know it's November. We're doing weekly prizes to our Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros shops. We're doing monthly prizes for free premium upgrades, which are incredibly valuable at Fantasy Pros, at Betting Pros. Download the Betting Pros app. You get 3 free days of premium on iOS if you download it this weekend. And you can go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest or on the Betting Pros app. Just click on that community tab and join the contest there. It's a good time. Join the contest. All right, next here is Cole Jurek. Levis, Carr, or Geno? I'm starting Carr. I'm not mucking around with this.
Oh, yeah, Carr. Carr's a good start this week.
Tucker Cena. You can't see him. Please help. I have to drop one of these bye week guys. Tank Dell or Tajay Spears. Ooh. I think Tank Dell is easier to pick back up and replace.
Yeah, look, you can't drop the handcuff running backs because you know what's going to happen. It's like you drop Spears, Henry's going to get banged up, and then you're going to want to like do bad things.
I think you drop Dell. I know it's frustrating. That's not what you want to hear, but I think that's what you do. Ryan Ross. Hey, y'all. Roshan or Devin Singletary, RB2. It's full
Gross.
PPR.
Gross. I think the Texans are playing the Bucks, and both matchups are bad.
Both matchups are bad. I mean, Singletary's getting half the work. Roshan's probably going to get about the same.
I guess Singletary, because he's getting half and Roshan's getting a third. So like,
I think Singletary in the passing game, maybe a little bit more action too. Ronaldo, do I flex Christian Watson, Tank Dell, or Palmer? And I already have Stroud playing. So what do you want to do here?
I would play. If he already has Stroud, then I guess I would probably try to
pair.
I guess I don't feel the need to pair because if Tank Dell has a good game, then I still benefit in some way. So I guess I would still I would go with Watson. Palmer's hurt. Palmer is clearly super injured and he's still playing and doing better than Quentin Johnson.
I told everybody he's not right. I don't understand. So everyone's like, Palmer's fine. I said, I don't think he's fine.
He's grimacing in pain on the side.
Yeah. It's his groin is no longer attached to his body. It's outside on the sidelines.
I would go with Watson here. Watson's gonna pop off one game. If the Packers can just devise a plan to
the Packers have no plan. I think that's pretty clear.
I honestly don't want to blame it all on Jordan Love because I really think the coaching is doing a really bad job. They're not setting him up to be in a position to succeed. Again, It's not all on them. It's Jordan Love's obviously not.
Well, he's got to execute it.
Yeah, that's true. But I think LaFleur, we were talking about, this guy's a great coach. It's okay, you take away Aaron Rodgers, and what has he done? Bad. Just all bad. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, this league is very simple. You either have a quarterback who's competent or you don't. And the teams that have competent quarterback play are competitive, and the teams that don't, well, they're not. Unless you have Will Levis, in which case it's nothing but sunshine and rainbows every week. Ethan Bleakley, Collins or Downs this week in PPR?
I'm going Collins.
Carlos A. Munoz Lopez, drop Godwin. Actually, he called him Godwind, which is really great. That's awesome. Godwind or Nico Collins in the PPR rest of season. Who would you rather have?
I hate Godwin. Godwin caught a touchdown. Godwin finally scored last week.
I'm not making these questions. I'm just asking them. Don't get mad at me.
No, I just the slander.
Rest of season. Who would you rather have? I guess this is a 10-team league or something. You got to drop somebody.
I'm keeping Godwin.
All right, so you're dropping Nico. Make a trade, Carlos. Make a trade. Don't drop either. Eric Murrow, what's up, Fantasy Pros? Would you guys be trying to move Calvin Ridley? You could try. What can you get for Calvin Ridley? That is the $1 million question, I feel like, every single week. It is very difficult to see you getting a good value, which is why I keep saying hold. If you want to flip and just kind of get out of the business, I don't think you can get Pittman for him. Could you get Garrett Wilson for him?
No, I don't
I don't think
so.
you can. I don't think you can get T. Higgins for him. You could probably get DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if you want him. What about George Pickens?
You know who you should get?
What?
You can go get Rhamondre Stevenson. I guarantee you can get him. I'm just saying, if you need a running back, nobody likes Rhamondre. Trust me, he's been horrible, and I have him on a bunch of teams. So, but if you need a running back, Ridley, there you go. That's what
that's one of the the Aaron Jones bust is not surprising to me. 6 years in the league, big workload. The Stevenson bust, that's been more peculiar to me because he looked great last year. He looked great. He was the focal point of the offense. And then you figure with Bill O'Brien coming in, things would get better, and it got worse. I don't understand. What happened here?
It's been very weird kind of
strange.
in a similar way to like Pollard, where it's like this guy's been super efficient, and then he just like suddenly isn't efficient anymore, and it's like, why can't he score touchdowns? Like, why is he allergic to the end zone? This doesn't make any sense. So it's like one of these things where it's like when so much is pointing to like being an outlier and like not making sense, it's like this is an opportunity to buy. Like, that's why I think that Stevenson is a guy that could have a strong second half finish. Again, the Patriots' schedule is much easier in the second half of the year versus the first half of the year. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys, have a really good schedule coming up. So, look, we know if it would be one thing if Stevenson was like an older running back, it's like, okay, well, he's dust now. Like, we get that. Like, that's clear. But I don't think that he just forgot how to be good at football. It's just a matter of he's not running great when it comes to touchdown variance. He's not breaking as many tackles as he did last year.
And the offensive line isn't great.
The offensive line was hurt. It has been getting healthier, which is going to work in his favor. But I mean, the Patriots offense overall has been super underwhelming, where it's like been really hard to really have anybody be consistent. So
that was very diplomatic of you. Super underwhelming. Jen Richard, our good friend Jen. Hey guys, need one PPR in the flex. Algier, Douglas, Warren, or Spears. I don't know if you're gonna like this answer, but I'm gonna see what Douglas has.
I made a bet on the FantasyPros show with Ryan
Derek
Wormley.
Brown told me that you called him potentially this year's second half rookie year Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Hell yeah!
Did those words come out of your mouth? I'm here for it. It ain't gonna happen.
I mean, the optics of the situation are why did St. Brown? Because all the targets opened up because everybody got hurt on the offense. What just happened? We just lost Kendrick Bourne. Like that, he was the number one target on the offense.
He was just here. Now I can't find him anywhere. Yeah. Look,
both day 3 picks. Just saying.
I feel you, dog. I feel you. All right, let's go to
number one schedule for fantasy wide receivers: Demario Douglas, Liberty Flame.
I like him. I'm all in. Let's
go. Douglas is his name. He has a nickname, just like the Sun God. The characteristics similarities are uncanny.
It's like Sun God, Pop, and then
Snap, Crackle,
Demont,
Pop,
and Smitty.
Douglas.
Demont and Smitty is way down here. Let's go to Andrew Leventis. I have Diggs and Davante Adams in my wide receivers, but I need a flex Deontay Johnson or Zay Flowers. Again, Zay Flowers. Evan Reed. What should I do with Gibbs? I have Kamara and Breece Hall. Great. And Garrett and Zay for wide receivers, so I really need some depth there. Who's a good option? So Jahmyr Gibbs flipping for who at wide receiver?
Dude, you should be able to get whoever you want. I would try to trade. I would try to get like
Smith would be great, or Waddle. I'd love one of those guys right now.
I think you can get more. I mean, after Gibbs just put up that game against the Raiders,
but I feel like people are all like,
dude, no, people are wish casting. People are like, Gibbs is taking over. Montgomery's dead. Gibbs is taking over. Even though
that would be really stupid wish casting. Like that's really dumb. That's bad.
Well, I mean, people are doing that.
Who's doing that?
People that drafted Gibbs.
I walked right into that one. Oh, Quentin Lewis. Oh, good times. Pick 2, Pacheco, Gabe Davis, T. Higgins, Puka Nacua, Rashee Rice, full PPR.
Pick 2. I'm definitely starting Pacheco.
Yep.
And probably Puka. Assuming Stafford plays. If Stafford doesn't play, I would pivot to Higgins.
Agreed. I'm just playing Higgins anyway. Guy Asa, PPR, Puka, Waddle, and Purdy for Herbert, Hopkins, and Adams. I want Puka, Waddle, and Purdy. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like, look, this trade sounds really good 2 years ago. We can't live off the Hopkins 3 touchdown game. And look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Will Levis is going to take the league by storm. Maybe it's going to be the magical thing and him and Hopkins are just going to have a good time. It's going to be awesome. Maybe. I'd be very surprised. Will Levis, and I think Thor would talk to this too. So like you want to ignore me, go listen to the College Football Guru. because Thor and I had numerous conversations in person during the combine, watching it together, had numerous conversations during draft season about Will Levis's deficits. And if you think we can see them, I guarantee you NFL scouts can. And I guarantee you that's the reason he dropped in the draft. And I guarantee you there's going to be a better book on him this week for preparation. So I'm just saying, let's see how he adjusts as the league will adjust.
You got to always fade. Look, people are overlooking the Titans last week. They played at home. Ryan Tannehill has had good games at home this year. The Titans are on the road for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to get bad.
Rookie on the road. We'll see. Joel Gambala. Full PPR. Trade Bijan for Pollard. Who would you rather have rest of season? Bijan or Pollard? This is so tough.
I mean, I have them literally ranked back to back in my rest of season rankings.
I'm going to die on this Bijan Robinson hill, but I'm starting to get sick.
I would say, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say Pollard because honestly, it could
better
come down
offense.
to he already had his bye week. So that matters. So that's another game that you already have Pollard for.
Arthur
better
Smith is
offense.
driving me crazy. Like all I can hope is that Taylor Heinicke can unlock some extra buzz with this offense. Because if he can, Bijan's going to be a monster. But it's not his fault. It's just a quarterback play has been dreadful. Jacob Boyme, Gabe Davis or Tank Dell? Gabe Davis.
I like Tank Dell.
You like Tank Dell? I'm going to go with Davis in this one. Jerry Medina, PPR, D-Hop, Addison, Tank Dell in the flex. Which one you want?
Addison.
Even this week?
I'm just going to start the best receiver, who's Addison.
Okay. Super fast TT. Do I trade Sutton, Javonte Williams, and Fields for Mahomes and Addison or Zay Flowers? So Sutton, all the guys on a bye and hurt. Sutton, Javonte Williams, and Fields. You get Mahomes, and then you get Addison, who might not be worth much. I mean, I think Dobbs can be okay with Addison. I do. And Jefferson is coming back eventually, theoretically. I'd rather have Zay Flowers. So if you say Zay and Mahomes for Javonte, Sutton, and Fields, that's a trade that I would make.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Yeah.
Mahomes is going to be 30 points every week. Like,
yeah.
I know last week was bad. He was sick. It was Denver. It's a tough combination.
I mean, that was like one of the worst games Mahomes has ever played in the NFL.
Right. Like a couple though. The one against the Jets was also bad this year. It's like he's had some stinkers this year, but I can't blame it all on him. There's moments in these games where these guys are just dropping balls.
Didn't Skyy didn't he just?
Skyy Moore did it again. He did it again this week.
And then McCole Hardman fumbled, and that's why
I defended you, Skyy Moore, on this show numerous times. I defended you.
Yeah, he was he was a huge miss. I mean, I know we liked him. We all liked him a lot. I liked him.
But like here's the why. He's wide open. You gotta catch the football. Well, that's the thing. Like
the process was sound. He just couldn't catch the ball.
Catch the ball, my friend. Catch the ball. Let's catch another question or two. David Hathaway. Hey, jabronis. That's my kind of people. Let's go, David. Who to keep rest of season? Calvin Ridley or Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers, easy.
And Sebastian, would you trade DJ Moore and or Gabe Davis for Zay Flowers and a half PPR? Who would you rather have? If you can get Gabe Davis, a Zay Flowers, Gabe Davis swap, that's the one I'm doing.
I would rather trade Gabe Davis, but I would trade either of those guys for Zay Flowers.
All right. Look, I want to remind everybody too here, when the show is over, I want you to go over to our other YouTube channel, Betting Pros. We've got amazing content there. Erickson and I just wrapped up a new show. It's going to be out later today. Tomorrow we got the prop show coming out, which is incredible. We've been crushing it. Last week, Bogman was 4 for 5 with the props he picked. We got the live stream tonight for Thursday Night Football. That's going to be must-see television because Bogman is in Arizona watching back-to-back losses of the Diamondbacks. He is in a miserable mood. Not even Carl's Jr. could make Bogman happy. The video is floating around X. It is hysterical. Watch that. I tweeted it or retweeted it or X'd it, whatever the heck we're calling it now. Join us at 5 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe. Click the bell over there because we're going to be going all the way straight through. And look, you want to make some of those investments back in fantasy that didn't work out? Come join us at Betting Pros because we're crushing it there. So subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to this one. Win a Dak jersey. Join the NFL contest at Betting Pros and use my playbook for all the incredible tools to help you win fantasy championships. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For John and Andrew, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your Thursday night.